Hi! Are you guys ready for some true crime today? Today we're going to talk about Lizzie Borden, and I'm curious if you guys think she's innocent or guilty or what. So I have a few shout outs. I want to say thank you to Susan S for donating, buying me cappuccino, coffee, whatever. And thank you to Ben too. He bought me some coffee as well. Thank you, Harold. If you want to buy me a cappuccino, you can go to my Ko-fi.com. Now, I also want to shout out 3 people who helped me with this topic because I've been so busy. I couldn't do as much research as I wanted. Rachel, Spirited Away Wolf, she helped me a lot, shared notes with me. Casey helped me a lot too, and Christopher. Those 3 helped me a lot with notes and getting information for me to refresh my memory. I appreciate it big time. So now I'm going to bring in Casey. Boom. How are you, Casey? Good. But today's cold. Very cold, but it's humid at the same time. Yeah, this is not normal for Wisconsin at all. So I would not be surprised if we have a tornado or something. So very interesting. So I'm going to catch up with the comments. Hi, Lori. Hi, Susan. Hi, Perry. Perry's here. Hi, Jose. Hi, Christopher. Yes, I appreciate it big time. That's why I had to postpone it for almost 2 months because I didn't have time to refresh my memory on Lizzie. But then those 3 offered to help me, and I appreciate that. Screaming like a preteen girl. OMG, it's Brianna. Hi, Georgia. Okay, so do you guys want me to post the link? But understand today we are not doing a random chat. We're going to discuss Lizzie and if you guys think she's innocent or guilty and all of that. So I can post a link if you guys want to join and talk about it with me in KC. And then I will start blabbing about Lizzie. Hold on. You have no idea who Lizzie is? Wow. She's very well known. One of the first women murderers, so she's very well known. But you're in the UK, so that explains why I never heard of her, maybe. Really? Oh, I did not know that. Hi, Harold. I know you're backstage, but hi. Okay. What? I love you guys so much. Okay, so let's start. Let me pull up my handy dandy notes. I have a lot of information. I like to give like the backstory of who these people are a little bit before I go into what happened. Okay. Me start. Lizzie, I'm gonna just sign Lizzie. Lizzie was born July 19th, 1860, so a long time ago, in Fall River, Massachusetts. Her mom and dad's name were Andrew and Sarah Borden. They had another daughter named Emma, who was born several years before Lizzie. Lizzie felt very protective to her younger sister. Their father grew up in a very poor surrounding and struggled financially in his upbringing. Even his father had a very wealthy family, but they still grew up because they didn't want to riot. They bought ugly clothes, bought ugly furniture, bought a small house. They did not want to brag about their wealth. He later started selling furniture and caskets and then became a very successful property developer. So, Andrew was very wealthy, but he was very canny with his money. They could have bought a big fancy home, but they decided not to. They bought a house at 92 2nd Street. That's a very poor area. That house did not have running water. It did not have indoor plumbing. Yeah, right. Had a little farm behind the house. Yeah. Their family, the cousins, uncles, aunts, they lived in a very fancy, rich neighborhood called The Hill. But they decided to stay in the port area. Why? I'm using my voice. Why? Georgia, why don't you understand? I'm using my voice. Okay, so Andrew, the two daughters, and the mother all lived in the poor area. When Lizzie was 3, the mother passed away. So 3 years later, Andrew married a different woman named Abby Durfee Gray. They lived very comfortably and had the privilege to buy or pay maids. So they did have a maid. Emma and Lizzie did not like Abby, the stepmother. Okay, stepmother. The two girls did not like her at all. They always called her Miss Borden, and when the father was not around, they would call her Abby. Lizzie believed very strongly that Abby was only married to the father for his money. Bridget was the maid. Later, she said that the two girls, the sisters, did not eat dinner with the parents because they very much did not like Abby. They disliked her, so they did not eat together. Okay. As they grew up, the tension between the two sisters and the stepmother did not decrease. It kept getting worse. They found out that the father was giving away gifts of land to Abby's family. So the stepmother, her family, the two daughters were mad that father did not want to spend money, had a lousy house, had lousy furniture, lousy clothes, but yet he's giving away land and houses to the stepmother's family. So Lizzie was getting mad because they were embarrassed that they looked poor, but they were not poor. All right. Where am I? Okay. In 1887, they discovered that Abby received the deed of the home they owned. The two daughters were mad, and they're like, no, Abby doesn't deserve the house. I do. We're the daughters. And the father said, fine, gave each daughter $1,500 house, to each a different house. But they were not satisfied because they wanted a fancy house, not a small house. So, the situation continued to get worse and worse, more tension. Yeah, get worse, yeah. Okay, so the two sisters started to put locks on the door. Nobody knows why the two sisters started to lock the doors, but is it possible that Abby felt she was in danger and locked the door between her bedroom and Lizzie's? Maybe she felt Lizzie was a bad person because there was too much tension, so she started locking the door, putting furniture blocking the door so no one can get in. Lizzie started to do the same thing, and then the conflict increased and increased and increased. There was too much anger. The maid said that you can tell there's a lot of tension, a lot of anger, but there was never any yelling in the house because they grew up to be very polite. So they always just talked in a very calm voice and did not yell, but it was obvious they did not like each other. Whoa. Later in trial, the maid told the judge that they never yelled or fought, but there was a lot of hate and anger to each other. In 1892, by the end of July, Emma and Lizzie left town to go on vacation. Emma went to Fairhaven, Massachusetts, and Lizzie went to some friend's house on the beach in Buzzards Bay in Massachusetts. While Lizzie was there, she went to a pharmacy and tried to buy cyanide and poison, very poisonous. And Lizzie told the pharmacist that she needed cyanide to kill bed bugs that were on her fur coat. And the pharmacist was confused because it was too hot outside to be wearing a fur coat. So he told her, no, you must get a doctor's prescription to get cyanide first. Then back in Fall River, Lizzie got the news that her father transferred another property and house to the stepmother. John Morse, Andrew, the father's brother, and his first wife were the owners of that new property. Lizzie informed her friend Alice that her father's very careless and he has made many new enemies because because the father keeps giving away all this free property, and now he has many new enemies. She told Alex, I have a bad feeling something bad will happen to my father. Several members in that house, including Lizzie, became very ill on August 3rd. Andrew, the father, was concerned that someone was trying to poison the whole family. On August 4th, Andrew, the father, Abby, the sister, John Morse, the uncle, sat down at breakfast. They had soup, pancakes, bananas, pears, cookies, and coffee. And then after breakfast, the father and uncle left. The father came back home at 10:40 a.m. for early lunch. After that, the maid was outside cleaning the windows and heard Lizzie screaming, Maggie, come quick, father's dead. Someone broke in and killed father. Andrew has been hit 11 times with a very sharp, heavy object that looked like an axe on his head. And it was, you can't even recognize who the person was. There was too much damage. Yeah, right. One of his eyes was destroyed and his tooth were split in two. Yes. I saw a picture of the skull and the whole thing is just gone. Look. The neighbor said, the neighbor went in and heard her screaming, and then he went upstairs and found Abby, the stepmother, in the upstairs bedroom with very similar, someone her many times too. Police showed up at that house and saw there was no forced entry. They looked around and did not see anyone trying to break in, like broken window, broken door, something, and there was nothing. They said Abby was killed 1 hour and a half before Andrew was. So the stepmother was killed about 9:30 that morning, and then the father was killed about 11 a.m. So that also means because the stepmother was killed at 9:30 and the father was killed at 11, they could tell because the mother was very cold. She'd been dead for a while. But the father was very warm, which means he was just killed recently. So that means the murderer had to be in the house. They had to be. Never heard of a murderer escape, come back, kill a second time, and then escape. Yeah. Really? You heard someone do that? Okay, fine. Lizzie, the police noticed that Lizzie had no blood on her clothing. She told the police that she was in the barn behind the house looking for lead to use as weights because she planned to go fishing. Right, but now wait. Investigators suspected that another laborer argued with the father because the father owed him money for a job that he did before on the morning of those murders. 3 days later, that man testified in court that Lizzie burned a blue cotton dress in the kitchen stove and burned it. She said why she burned that dress is because she touched some wet paint with that dress and can't get rid of that paint, so she burned it.
I was talking about the old time, long time ago. The only way they built a house is to have a front door, a back door, a tray, all nothing else. All the room decorate. When you open the front door, you can see who comes in and comes out. That makes this. You understand me?
Georgia, did you understand? He was just explaining what the houses looked like back then. You can't really hide or escape because you can see the back instantly.
That's why they thought there was no forced entry.
Right. Okay, so someone saw Lizzie burn her dress in the kitchen stove because she touched wet paint with the dress and can't save it, so she burned it. Okay.
You get the blood, you come on in. If you eat the baby,
Now, the police were skeptical of Lizzie's story. They think she burned the dress because it was covered in blood. The police strongly suspected that Lizzie killed the father and the stepmother. It would have required the murderer to remain in the house or near the house for almost 2 hours with nobody noticing and not knowing if the father would come, what time the father would come back home for lunch. They didn't know. They had to wait. If the father came sooner or later in the evening, morning, evening, they don't know. So someone had to be waiting all day, and that day he happened to come home early. 1 week later, the police were not satisfied with Lizzie's answers. She seemed to be
you be satisfied?
Yeah, right. Right. So the police went ahead and arrested Lizzie and charged her with a double homicide. She waited for her trial in jail for almost 1 year. Police searched for a murder weapon and other evidence so they can build a case against Lizzie. Lizzie Borden was indicted on December 2nd, 1892. Her trial was very well publicized. Everybody knew about that trial.
The first public was the first public to law put about that.
Yeah.
That's why it's very famous.
And back then, many people believed that women can't be a murderer.
Right, yeah, right.
They're polite. Right.
Because back then, people feel, well,
yeah.
You get nothing about you. It's not the same that right now.
Yeah.
Right.
The police.
I'm sorry, I need to use my voice. I can't forget you. I'm sorry.
You're using your voice. You're okay. The police did find an axe in the basement or the attic. I can't remember. One of those basement. They found an axe, but the handle was missing. There was no handle. You could tell someone stepped on it and broke it to get rid of that handle. But the metal part was still there. It was very clean, not much blood on it. But remember, back in the 1800s, they did not have DNA testing or the different special chemicals to see if blood touched them.
Right.
The police did suspect because they found menstrual cloth pads. Lizzie was on her period. And back then, they don't have pads like now where you can throw it in the garbage. Back then was cloth. You washed it and used it over and over. The police suspected that Lizzie took her pad, her cloth pad, and wiped and then threw it. And because she was on her period, the blood from that axe was mixed in with her period. So they could not test to see there was two different kinds of blood or three different kinds of blood. It was the same.
I know meet people that come like this with their blood, but no, what it takes a lot of depth to get that thing. You have to eat that on. You have to have an ability to get that pure blood or amplified blood.
Now we have many different tools to help. Back then they had nothing. They had to use their brain and assume, basically. They had to assume. Okay. Lizzie did not take the stand in court to defend herself. She decided to stay seated. She did not want to testify because of all the attention from the public. They criticized her and said they never saw Lizzie cry or look down or sad, nothing. She was fine the whole time. And many people thought that was not normal. You should be, my mom, dad gone, but she was not. She said the reason is because she grew up to be very polite and do not show emotion. So in public, she grew up with the thought that you can't show any emotion. So that was what her excuse was. Oops. Her trial began June 5th in 1893. Lizzie had a famous attorney, the former Massachusetts governor named George Robinson was her lawyer. Everybody knew who her lawyer was. The case against Lizzie seemed strong, but really they had no evidence. It was all circumstantial. No witness could testify to the involvement of Lizzie, and no murder weapon was ever definitely linked. They found the axe head, but they assumed it was the axe because it matched the skull damage. It fit. And in court, they actually bought mother's skull. They burned it. Yeah. And then they had the axe and they showed everybody, look, it fits. Can you imagine? I couldn't imagine that. All right. A Harvard University professor did testify and said, yes, that axe matches the damage on the two skulls on Andrew, the father, and Abby, the stepmother. No blood was found on the blade, but the police believed that Lizzie used cloth pads to clean it and then throw it in the pail with all her other period pads. The cloth she used would have blended in with her own menstrual and then thrown in the bucket. The jury was all men. On June 20th, after 1 hour and a half, they decided she is not guilty. All the people were cheering and thrilled because they knew that she was not guilty. But the sheer weight later evaluated the crime that reached a conclusion that Lizzie was, yes, the murderer. But that was later when they got more technology improved, better detectives investigated. She was already gone. But later they found out, they think, yes, she is the murderer. Other people in that town, they also started to suspect maybe it was Lizzie, but some other people think that the father had another son out of marriage with
Wedlock.
maid. They think
Out of wedlock.
out of
Okay.
wedlock. So the father was not involved in the son's life. But they think maybe he did it. He was mad that the father didn't want the son, so maybe he did it. But there's no evidence of that. The end. Okay, Lizzie's possible motive. A group of modern researchers suggested that the reason why Lizzie killed the father is because she was so embarrassed and angry that the father would not buy a nice house, bought shit furniture, bought shitty clothes, shitty food, and he was giving away money to other people, but not the two daughters. And after the trial was done and she was found not guilty, she bought a big mansion on the hill where her other family lived. She finally bought the house she always wanted on the hill and lived there. She changed her name to Elizabeth, continued living in Fall River. After the trial, they bought the house, called it Maple Croft. Whoa. I keep losing my place. So they bought the fancy house on the hill. Many people started to see that Lindsay was having a relationship with another woman. Her sister did not agree with it, and yeah, she was mad that she was a lesbian, so her sister moved out of that fancy house in 1905. Lizzie continued to live in that house alone until her death from pneumonia on June 1st, 1927. She was 67 years old. She left $30,000 to an animal rescue because she was obsessed with dogs. She had many dogs. And then she took whatever secrets she had about the murders to the grave. So kind of wait. She died like 9 days later of kidney failure or liver failure, one of those two. 9 days later. Yeah. So it's kind of like a unsolved mystery. Did she do it or not? What do you think? Yes, 30,000 is equivalent to like 1 million today, right?
I remember we eat. First, they two,
Wow.
they two.
That's a lot. Yeah. But the father was he did not want anyone to know he was rich, but everybody knew he was rich. He just did not want to show it. So I'm curious about the comments. Do you think she did it or not? She was the only person charged in the murders of her parents. But that's because nobody else was around.
I can't read the comment.
Pluto said Lizzie is guilty because she was the only person charged with the murder of her parents.
Well, they all think bitch. The uncle, father, brother, okay, Richard, boys, they died because he was there when he died. He told the court that he wants to get back. That I go ever to get to them. They get them first, but
The one thing
I'm starting to lose my voice.
doesn't really make sense is if Lizzie killed the stepmother at 9:30 in the morning, murdered her, and then stood and waited until Dad arrived, and then killed him. How did she change her clothes so quickly?
My opinion, I remember wrong, but ever I don't know because
Right.
but you remember you talk about it, brother. I'm thinking they work together because there's no way a little woman could do that much.
If
But
you
she could help. I don't know. I
if
remember
you
wrong.
are filled with anger and
Yeah, that's true. You
adrenaline,
eat double your
yeah,
answer lines.
it's increased. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
And plus, if the brother was involved, why was he not mentioned after Lizzie bought the fancy house with the other sister? The two of them, they lived in
Right.
that house. If the
Right.
brother was involved, you would think they would bring in the brother to the house too. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know.
With a accommodate you.
Yep.
Right, right, right.
Oh, she fucking did it all right. Why do you say that, George? I'm curious.
Say why?
Maybe she used plastic. That's
Oh,
another thing I forgot to mention. The person who killed the father and the stepmother, there was blood. The father was murdered on the couch. He took a nap, and that was the last nap he ever took. He died. Someone killed him when he was sleeping on the couch. There was blood on the couch, but no blood around. If you are killing someone, you will have blood splatter everywhere. But there was nothing on the ceiling, the wall, nothing.
that's why I did not eat there.
The stepmother, her head is bashed in. Everything was spotless except the blood spot. That's impossible. Impossible.
And also, remember you talk about the maid going out and then her let the dream that the mother. I'm pretty sure she will have heard the murder. Because you can't be quiet.
Right. And plus, the victim, if I'm the dad or the stepmother and someone's murdering me, I will not. Okay, go ahead. But nobody heard anything. Oh.
Really?
Oh. That would make sense why they didn't.
Oh my God, really?
Blood on her.
Wow, really? I did that the movie.
Sometimes can be exaggerated, like
Yeah, that's true.
story, but it's not accurate the whole time. I'm gonna Google that.
But you know, yeah, that's why movie tends to exaggerate.
Yeah. Lizzie.
You call the maid. The maid ran up there. The dog at right. Dog, that's for. I think, she's there too.
The maid was outside cleaning windows and heard. No, maid was outside cleaning. No, she was outside cleaning the window, and she heard Lizzie scream, "Oh, someone murdered my dad! Someone broke in and murdered my dad!" So then she ran in. The stepmother.
Yeah, that's true.
The stepmother.
Because back then, woman is nothing. Because back then, woman is nothing. Well, I mean,
No.
the man always has a more. Mm, that's what I tell. That's what I tell. That's what I tell people. That was my dummy people won't. Not me, bad people. Bad. Yeah, yeah.
I
And
think
that makes me wonder. That makes me wonder if their mother and father was bigger than her was the same size.
we're both skinny. They have pictures. Look at my
I
back.
saw the picture. The father kind of bad.
I'm going to pull us down so people
Okay,
can
okay.
look at the background. So the top, that's Lizzie, and then that picture is the father on the couch, and then in the middle is the mother on the floor. That.
I remember back then, the camera is not big, like, so the eyes take color, right? Take color. So it to see them that it.
I never heard about that theory that Lizzie was naked, so I'm just thinking about that. That makes so much sense.
But it, yeah, it did. Yeah,
But why did she burn the dress in the stove then?
because they probably move the body. Because remember, they said it's not black. How long it would kill the bodies that were out? Then move it. I don't know. Rabbit trail.
Someone did comment that maybe she put plastic around when the dad was sleeping. The only way to do that is wait dad sleeping and then shh, and then like that doesn't make any sense. 9:30 in the morning, and then father was killed 2 hours later.
Well, the story that they claiming the average dad to go to grab him kill. But he knew it was bad. But that too. But how right he took a nap before he got killed. But they killed him took a nap. Well, but there's no proof. There's no proof that he did take a nap. He probably died before he took a nap.
It's very confusing story.
Yeah, that's why one of the family stories with so many evidence forever.
Yeah, the 1800. That's good. Christopher, can you read the comments, Casey? Casey, can you see the
Yeah.
comments? No? Oh, okay. Yeah. But I forgot to mention one thing. The police did say that the axe they found, there was no blood on it, but it was covered in ash, like a fire, and then ash. That axe had ash on it. So the police,
That you take the bar the word.
the handle, and the axe, they burned it and then realized it won't melt the metal, so they just put it in the basement. So
Could be the battery out of the plug.
so yeah, they did not have plastic in the Thank you, Christopher. Yeah.
And that's the thing I learned. You know, photography memory. I read back then they would try to kill an animal that cut off the egg and do some kind of picture Peter went to the eye of the emerald that died some kind of difficult. I could see that lad before he died. And they tried that on Lizzie's father and stepmother, but it didn't work. And that's why maybe oh my god. That's why I'm wondering. I'm wondering about you actually start somewhere, right?
Yeah.
But can you make it if they made technology where you could see the last thing or put you see right before you die into that person?
I wonder how they would do that. Do they have to put something in your brain, or how do they
Well,
do that?
remember, like I explained to you, bad thing and no technology, but they learn to clear the edge of their animals. They took the eyes out and bring them kind of difficult. I forgot what kind of difficult. And you could see the graphic image of that lad is a dog before he died.
I never heard of that.
And I'm that, wow. I
That's
really tried my.
wow. If they can do that, then why have they not done it to the thousands and thousands of victims who were murdered? Why they're not
I
using
think it was never perfected.
method?
But you work on animal, but you never work on humans.
Oh, that's interesting. He came from, well, his upbringing, he was poor in the money, and then when he became older, I guess his family became wealthy, so when they passed, they gave him they passed down the money, and then the father became a furniture, I forgot what I said, a furniture seller, and then later became a state property developer. He built houses, mansions, and things like that before he died.
They did build furniture, but was never everything he did. So they think he paid people to build the furniture. He tell them. What I mean,
Yeah. She was 33, I think 33. Another thing,
yes,
the two were both
this
in
is not a
many people in the town.
it's a definitely older.
People in the town thought it was odd that these two sisters were in their 30s and they were not married and they still lived at home with the father. There is also speculation that there was incest going on in the family, and that's why the sisters never got married. They also think that incest was happening in the house, and that's why they started locking the doors.
George and the marriage of them again.
They speculated the reason why the two sisters started doors is because they didn't want someone to come in and have sex with them. And that would explain why the father's eyes were cut up. Because,
It could tend to the father attack with the daughter.
yeah. So that's why people also think Lizzie did that. She cut up her dad's eyes because of incest. He didn't want dad to look at her anymore.
That makes
Oh. No, she was outside cleaning the windows and nobody heard anything. Even if
it's possible they pay her to
could be. Um it doesn't matter if the doors are closed. You can still hear screaming through the windows. You can still hear it. So
the object back. The old object very thin. Very thin.
yeah.
Right.
Actually, father. That's what we're talking about.
So
Yep.
what else?
That's what we're discussing.
That's why Robert Special Case that became very famous. There's different movie Lizzie Borden, the actress named Christina with the play Wednesday. Yeah, and family.
Yeah,
Oh, I love her.
picture.
I love her.
I saw a picture. I have a picture of the movie actor.
Yeah.
Uh, this is the actor in the movie. Yeah.
Hey, so, hell. Don't you think that you saw a video about arguing out about Lizzie out arguing out? They said they thought it goes. What else did they say? Did they see the ghost?
You
Or
can
what
go.
happened? Yeah, right.
People on YouTube, you can still
I
go
want to
to
go.
the house. You can still go.
I want to go.
YouTube did.
We
I also forgot to mention Dozy. Whoop! Dozy. Right. The day before the murder, remember I said the whole family was sick. The whole family was sick. The stepmother, the dad, the sister, and the uncle. They were sick. They had stomach pains, and so the father or the stepmother went to the doctor and said, "I think someone's trying to poison my family." And the doctor was like, "We can't do anything." They found no traces of poison. But remember, Lizzie, the day before the murder, Lizzie went to the pharmacy trying to get cyanide. So maybe she did poison them and then axed after they poisoned.
Well, the old family got sick because they left me out. They were eating the app rose for dinner of soup. They left it overnight and got different food poisoning. That
I think they were poisoned and then died before the X because they could not back then in the 1800s they did not have the technology to see how they died. They could assume some, but they could not tell if they were poisoned or killed by the axe. So it makes sense because nobody heard any screaming at all.
right.
Means they had to be dead before X. Had to be. Nobody.
Another conspiracy is that the uncle helped them out too. They gave more portion of money to the uncle to as a bribe to the many different conspiracies.
Yeah, there's
Conspiracies.
it's interesting.
Yeah. But I like it. I like it. A theory about being naked. I never thought
Yeah,
about that.
that makes sense. And she only had underwear, cloth pads. That's all she. If she was naked, all she had underwear and cloth pad, and that makes sense. Axe and then threw it in the bucket. Makes sense. Makes sense. So I don't know.
Yeah. I never thought about that. I like it.
The Borden house. Really?
Yeah, we could go. Yeah.
Oh my God. I was so freaked out. Yes, that's very true. Especially back in the 1800s did not have a lot of technology to find poisons.
Not all the time they could get out of the poison, they could milk it, but not all poison is milked.
Yeah.
But when you go in there, but
I had another theory, but I forgot it. Can't remember what I was going to say.
It will come up.
Yeah.
It will come up, yeah. It will come back.
So,
what's the comment that you?
I'm sorry I cut you there. Please come. If it's about drama, I don't care, and Harold doesn't care about the drama. Right now, there's a lot of drama in the deaf community. We don't give a fuck. Not trying to be mean, but we don't give a fuck about the drama. We want nothing to do with that. She explained that she was planning to put it on the fire. Yeah, that's what she said, but it makes no sense. You can easily get paint off of clothes. easily. Your internet's fucked up. Christy, nothing changed on sound, and you can see parents' skull on the shelf, but I think it's copy. Oh, you mean fake skull? Yeah. So I'm curious about the comments. What are your theories, your ideas? What?
What do there? What do conspiracy? Conspiracy.
Then exit out and then restart your phone or laptop and then come back because we're still here. That's your internet, babe girl. I post a link if you guys want to come. Lori!
Oh, yeah, girl, yeah.
I posted the link. I know Lori just watched a movie like 2 weeks ago, so.
Oh, okay. I'm going to be. Like a bird.
That's funny. So, anyways, yeah, I think Lizzie did it, and she was very smart about it.
Oh, I can't make it feel. I got way better.
And she inherited all the money too.
That's it, right?
Yes.
I'm going to be happy after or to make the rubber because no one is right my property happy after kill or take the word life.
Unless you are fucked up mentally.
Exactly. No.
I don't know.
I call it. And my favorite there is let's see the guy to the down. I think he's fair with the maid. Yeah, the maid did. The maid did nothing. The maid did nothing.
So maybe the maid was in love with Lizzie. But if that's true, then why the maid did not live with Lizzie in the house? I mean, back then with trans LGBT, they were lesbians, so maybe they were.
The maid over there, they out from the slave owners.
Yeah.
Never the day probably, but yeah, right. Courage, they call it courage. Courage.
Oh, servant. Yeah. Right. It was. Yeah, it should still be. Yes, should still be.
What was the name of the true fact of Lizzie Borden?
I mean,
what was it called?
Let me look. I know it. It was on Netflix. I don't know if it still is. I'll look. Hi, Georgia.
I think Lizzie has help.
Yeah, you're right. I think so too.
Lizzie was not very petite. If you look at her picture, she's pretty big for a woman.
Yeah.
She's got broad shoulders. She's not skinny. I mean, she's not fat, but she's big bone. So,
but you know what's funny? The story said nothing about where Lizzie's sister or what was her response.
She was out of town. She was out of town.
But you say what happened to her after. She should come back.
Yeah. They said that Emma and Lizzie, when trial was done and Lizzie was not guilty, they inherited the money from
and they but I want to know what were they before that.
Oh, I don't know. But they lived together in that big mansion until Emma found out that Liz was a lesbian with the maid. Come out, I don't support it. So she moved out, but Lizzie stayed in the house. But during that, I don't know. But I did read that the public also criticized Emma and said she's not showing any emotion. She's not crying. She's not upset. Nothing. Very same as Lizzie. So
they played right.
Well, maybe because they knew they grew up, the dad don't care about the daughter, and the daughter's like, and used to her not show any emotion because they're not paying attention to them.
They were they were raised that way to not show any emotion in public.
That's it.
Polite. Yeah. All right, let me look.
I can put mine in my tag.
Not on there anymore. Not on there anymore. It should be on Hulu.
Look at me. Stop attacking me.
Wait. Okay, I got you. Ah.
Well, you can find it on Prime. Let me.
Well, that's
There's
fun.
also another one. This is another one, a TV show.
I've seen that. I've seen that a while
So
ago.
there's two different ones.
I've seen that a while ago. I remember. Ow! Oh! Fucking bitch.
Okay, I'm confused.
Attacking me.
Do it there. Do it there.
Yes, 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 yes.
You saw the movie or what you see?
One with what's her name? Christiana Ricci.
Lizzie.
Yeah,
Teen.
but the actor Christiana Ricci. That's the one I watched. I remember. I didn't know what you're talking about.
Christine. The
Yeah.
Two
Nothing.
counts of homicide. 2 counts of homicide, but she found not guilty. This
Oh,
happened in Fall River, Massachusetts.
Dead.
You can still go and see the house if you can.
whatever.
Sorry to read.
Yeah.
Hell, you want to go?
Sure. Go on live.
Ow!
What did I miss? What did I miss?
So you want to go? I said,
You
sure,
wanna
go
go?
on live.
What do people do on YouTube? They went.
I did. I'm
I
like,
don't think I would want to stay overnight because I could feel
You know,
it. I don't know if I can handle that.
I do not like that. I know. I do not.
I already sent.
Christopher, you cover me. Christopher, you cover me.
Meet us there. You're in.
Yay!
Meet us there, okay?
I'm going to live near it too.
Maybe if I get enough money from everybody donating, then I can fly and stay there. You finally up.
Yay! You're awake.
So does anyone else want to join and talk about it? Or done?
so
What?
that's the only family, and right there, no
Nothing.
kid,
No
nothing.
kid.
Dead right there, stop right there.
They did have cousins and uncles,
Perfect.
immediate family like kids, brothers. So they had a half brother, but there's no.
No, it.
Well, there's no about him,
Right.
so we have no idea who.
But we know it's there. I promise you it's there.
Yeah, you think so?
Oh yeah.
We should find a psychic and say, "Can you? What do you see?"
Yeah.
I can't see.
Yeah.
Oh, We're just
What?
talking about your opinion and your theory.
When you start the story, right? You have a opinion. Yeah, come on.
Emma girl, no, I have not. We are talking about Lizzie, so I'm trying to stay on topic. But no, I've not seen that. Who should I talk about next on another true crime? Who should we talk about next? There's so many good
I
cases.
know a lot about oh crap, I forgot his name. The gay man, Jeffrey Dahmer.
On him. Oh yeah.
Dahmer.
About the
I don't know about it.
I know it's not you. He's from Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Jeffrey Dahmer, the gay man from Jeffrey.
He killed deaf.
Okay.
He killed one deaf boy.
Right.
He's
How the police found him. Oh, that's right. That's right. I forgot about that.
Go drive past the area.
Oh, well,
Then.
I was thinking maybe we could talk about the Mike T. Bell.
Amity film.
Horror movie.
Forever killed the aim out. Yes.
True story?
No, forever killed by the father. Is out. Seven people, right?
Including kids, yes.
I think this was seven. Yeah. The kids were killed.
When did this happen?
Who 19
Or a medieval?
Debbie.
Back in
Yeah, Debbie, 19 Debbie.
No, I never
But
heard of it.
before I'm
he was
born.
being possessed. No, it was like a devil, like talking to him to kill.
That's
Ow!
you're
Yeah.
Like talking, and then killed him, and then apparently the vicar came to visit, and the bee. I don't know, but I want to research on that.
Okay, cool.
Anyway, we could do Ted Bundy
Oh well.
or Jeffrey Dahmer or Marilyn Manson. Charlie Manson.
Charles
Thank you.
Manson. So
Yeah.
you have to vote in the comments. Who's next? Charles Manson, Jeff,
Stop. You gotta stop.
Dahmer.
or
Ted Bundy.
there's another one, Gene something. He's from Plainsville, Wisconsin.
What's that?
From Madison, Wisconsin. He was a big murderer too. He wanted to be a cop, but he was too big and tall, so they said no. And he murdered many people. Gene, what's his fucking last name? Christopher, help me. What's his last name?
What about
We
the?
talked about Dr. Giggle.
No, Gene. Fuck, I can't think of his last name. I don't know.
What about Ted Saul? But it's actually from a different state. Not a Ted, but he actually killing people with sin and all that. Who's that? You know about that? No, it's not Ted. It's not happened to Ted, but it happened. Ohio or something. That movie, they took the name Ted to make them better. That's all. It happened at different states.
Oh, okay. You talk about. I thought you'd be the one. Wait, go.
No.
Be it right out.
That's a religious cultural thing.
Oh, David Corey. No.
Yes, I was there when it happened. I was there.
You were there?
I kind of want to talk about the cult Heaven's Gate. Have you guys heard about Heaven's Gate?
No. Wait, Dad.
It's a cult that strongly believed and convinced people that our body is a vehicle. And
People.
UFO
I heard about that.
and save us, and we will join the UFO. So they killed themselves.
How?
Kind of want to talk about that cult too. And there's another one called Jonestown that like many people died. I think it's like 900 people killed
It's different
themselves
country
in
from America.
United
And
States.
then he moved to South America because
Moved to Mexico, I believe.
South America because America is about to ban that culture or something, and they say fuck it and grab it and move.
Ed Gein is from Wisconsin. Yes, that wanted to be a cop but killed a bunch of people.
Wow.
Ed Gein.
We have a deck.
Talking about. We have many
Let people comment.
accents.
People
So
comment.
we're voting.
Yeah,
Oh, come on, people.
yeah. That is Texas Chainsaw. That's him. That's
Ed
him.
Gein?
That's Texas.
Oh.
They took his story.
I think right.
He wear a mask and everything. He wears a
You
thing.
got mad at dead people.
That's him. Yeah.
Yeah. Ed Gein, fucking creepy motherfucker.
Okay, calm down. He did.
We only have like 2, maybe 3 well-known murderers compared to other states have way more. So Wisconsin doesn't have very much.
Yes.
You guys know Sam Little never heard of
Really?
3 women.
Damn,
I
they
heard
are.
about that.
Wow.
I heard about that.
Ooh.
That's the one. It's Kool-Aid.
Brianna doesn't know how to open her eyes. The end.
I think she just peed in the bag.
That's the one I was talking about. The group of cults
yeah.
move
Kool-Aid.
and drink Kool-Aid. That's what I'm talking about.
That's called the Jonestown
Downtown.
cult.
They moved from South America.
They have like 900 people who believe
Great.
guy was God. So should we talk about a cult next instead of a murderer? Or should we do a mystery? You guys,
I'm actually a cult.
cult
I
or
grew up in cult.
mystery? Vote. 1 for a cult. You want my next true crime discussion? Cult or a mystery? So see who.
Well,
Mystery. Mystery means we don't know the answer. We don't know what happened, but we can discuss our theory. So, what do you guys think? We're not going to talk about you, Brianna. Stop it. Yeah, I just talked about it. Heaven's Gate. They stopped because they thought they would go in a UFO ship. Heaven's Gate. So what are we doing next? Cult or mystery? No one's voting in the comments.
Cult.
What do you want, Georgia? Now, Brianna, this is a black screen.
Oh, God, I didn't comment.
I said, oh,
Comment.
I can't even fucking hear you.
No, you're not. You're good. So, Georgia, to talk about a cult next or a mystery? Which one? Cult or
I can't
mystery?
hear you because Christopher called me and the sound gone.
Hey, stop it! You can see
Bear, stop it. Bear,
live.
you over distracted us. Bear.
Cult. So we have 2 cults. Nobody wants mystery.
I think cult.
I grew up in a cult.
I believe you, Brianna.
I can hear you now.
Georgia, should we talk about a cult next or a mystery? Which
Cult.
one? A cult? We have 3 cult votes. Nobody else wants to
I
vote.
agree with cult. I agree with cult because I grew up in cult.
Which one?
You did? You grew up in a cult?
That's the Georgia.
What cult? Which cult?
The third never together at one property. Because I'm not allowed outside the world.
Are you
3
serious?
years. The fight left after 15. That was my first friend.
Okay, fine. The next
Kool-Aid.
we'll talk about a cult. Should we do Jamestown or Heaven's Gate? Which one? Both? Both. I don't want to confuse people.
That's 12. That's 12. One should be enough.
Yeah. So which one? Heaven's Gate that had, I think, like 80 people? I don't remember. And Jonestown had
The Kool-Aid. Kool-Aid. That's the only thing I remember. Kool-Aid. The drink Kool-Aid.
They
Kool-Aid.
put poison and
Kool-Aid.
forced them to drink it. And many people.
Just for the baby, kids.
Yeah. You said something about growing up with a cult. Yeah.
I grew up with a cult when I was living in Atlanta, Georgia from 1985 to 91, 92.
So you were not allowed to leave?
I was not allowed to leave a church property. That's worse. I went to school. I lived on the church property. In one house, I lived with 4 different families. They all shared one bathroom.
So did your mom bring
Part
you
of it.
in that cult, or
I had to support my dad.
in that cult?
Well, my mom was already go to their college. So I have to wait another time. But she went to their, I pretty much after the divorce into that cult. My mom was already a member of that cult before he married my dad. Then after the divorce, we back full time.
So what was the last straw that you both fuck this cult, we're out? What was the last straw?
My sister left to move in with my father because she could not take the church anymore because all the things that were going on in the church. My sister got like it. My sister knew it was not normal. So she finally moved to Dallas. I was living in Atlanta at that time. Now I was 15. 15. And I was trying to get my driver's license because I had no friends, nobody my age, nothing to do. That was my only excitement. So I studied that book and I listened everything. I knew every single rule. That's what we got nothing else to do. And then my mom actually go and ask my pastor permission to take me to CBS to get my license. And the pastor said no. My mom was like, okay, she went to tell my stepdad, and then he went to tell me, and I lost it. I told my mom everything that was going on in the church behind the door. I kept secret because I was my mom. I care about my mom. I would never leave my mom. So when I finally told them everything, they looked at each other. That's it, we're leaving. That's the day we left.
Mom realized this was not good and left.
Oh, yeah.
Can you imagine if you're still in that cult? Do you know that religion?
Well, no, the pastor died. What might be go? Okay.
Yeah, finally.
I would never.
Carol!
I always have forgiven that pastor.
Well,
I always have forgiven that pastor.
Yeah, don't blame you, Casey.
Yeah.
So you're not allowed to leave. What other rules did that cult have?
You wanted it funny.
Hold on, wait, time. I said you should hold that for the next one.
You mean continue this discussion?
No, I said you should hold that discussion on the next one. Talk about cult because he have experienced that. Because this is, right now you're like, Pew!
We're done with Lizzie.
I know.
Lizzie. Okay, fine. We'll wait till the next cult topic.
Sweet.
Oh, you're fine, baby. You're fine. 79-year-old inmate serving 3 life sentences
Right.
confessed to killing 90 people last year. Who? Who?
Whoa.
Please don't.
We will discuss
And
more next.
everyone asked me to write a book. I know I should write a book because my
Sure.
life for it was easy to happy.
That's
Good.
fucked up.
No, yeah, it was fucked up. I'm so happy movie that
There is a Mormon society in Utah, and I was watching this one show on Hulu, I think, where these young girls, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, whatever, they are forced to marry their uncles, their grandpas, their fathers. And then many
Okay.
of them, when they become 16, 17, there's a
See you.
organization that breaks in and helps them to escape.
That
Did
still
you-
happens today.
Yeah.
It still
Yeah.
happens.
Well,
Did you
Yeah.
ever did the TV
Still.
show called Did the Right?
Oh yeah, I've
Did
seen.
the
I
Right?
watched it, but I heard
That
about it.
it keeps a good mother further up subculture.
Yeah.
So fucked up.
Oh yeah.
I don't. Oh, that's Sam Little.
Down a little.
Wow.
Little.
Then I got a demo little.
He killed 90 people while in prison. What the fuck are the guards doing?
No.
Interesting. Me too. Me too. Me too.
Me too.
So
Wait.
sorry. So I guess my next topic live, maybe next week, we'll talk about cults.
Yeah, and also about one topic we did talk about. Can you imagine, a long time frame of me? You better you I need
Yeah.
to do more stories about that. Well,
Samuel Little killed 93 people.
damn.
Who votes for Sam Little?
And don't tell.
Right now, that house is like a bed and breakfast hotel.
To his house now. To his people can look.
Yeah,
Meet them.
it's good if you with that people you did. Auntie. People, you call the people that everything. Auntie.
Paranormal
Paranormal.
investors.
They did good if you
Yeah.
step out the house. You good.
AP, oh, wrong one. Yes, Scott Peterson. That was mid- out now on parole. Last year he got out mad. He's supposed to stay in prison for life, but he got out last year. Was not supposed to, but she was pregnant.
Yeah, not connected.
That's a good. We can do that one after the cult. So I think we're done discussing Lizzie then. So I will let you guys know when my cult topic is. I'm gonna do it next week, I think. I'm gonna try to do that next week. I have to make sure Casey's available so he can answer my questions about his cult.
And I'm gonna watch that film, Lizzie.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I already
This week.
watched the last 2 years.
Last week, May. Okay. Okay.
Next week, man. Next week, work. Yeah.
You're
Sweet
done
month.
with work. What?
Next week, start something.
When is the last day of school?
That's Thursday.
Carter is I can do. Oh yes, that's right. Perry has a Kahoot. We're going to do that this week for doing that with Perry. Perry made one.
Happy early birthday. Happy early birthday, dear Mary.
Okay, so I guess we're done. Tomorrow. Today's Sunday? Today's Sunday? Damn. Lost my weekend. I thought today's Saturday.
Today's Sunday.
Damn.
You should know you created that thing on Snapchat.
What'd you say,
You
Jonah?
know it's Sunday because you posted on Snapchat last night.
I posted that yesterday. Yeah, I know this topic is on Sunday, but I guess I forgot about that. Bye, Mickey. Thank you guys for coming. Have a good week. And I will keep you guys posted on when we're doing the Kahoot this week with Perry and the cult topic. Have a good week. Bye-bye.